Alright guys, bringing you episode 2 of the Football Fan Show. Again, we're without Kamarov. He did tell me he would be here today, that's why the video was delayed. But what can you do about it? I've got someone to replace him this week. I got my friend Ben in here. He's from Donegal. Hello Ben. Sure, hello.
Hello Maxwell. Hello Maxwell.
And I've just found out that Ben is actually a Manx supporter, which I'm starting to regret getting him in the call, but okay. So let's start with yesterday's matches. Actually, you know what? Before we get into the results, let's start tonight's match, Spurs and Man United. You watching it?
If I can find a stream or something.
Oh, aye, PTPs, that's the best way to go on it. What are you predicting, man?
Man United 2-1.
It is at Old Trafford. I would probably say they'll beat them 3-1, to be honest. But I'm hoping for a draw, but I doubt it. Put it that way. But anyway, let's get with the results. So let's start with yesterday's results. Manchester City and Bolton Wanderers was 3-2 to City. Now that's not really a surprising result. Bolton, good team, scored a couple of goals against them, but their keeper made a bit of a blunder. Did you see that?
Yeah.
They could have got a point against them. Like, go ahead.
Yeah.
They could have got a point against them.
No, it's just that.
Go ahead.
It's just that Man City.
Yeah.
They've just bought so many players.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can gel as a team this season.
They had all last season to do it, like though.
Yeah, but Aguero though.
What about it? Oh no, he seems to settled in rightly from his result, from how he came on and against who was it? Swansea.
Yeah, I forgot to add him to my fantasy football team.
Oh
just
yeah.
Before the match.
Yeah.
Added him after.
I did that myself. I did that yesterday. No, sorry, last week. But he didn't do too well, and he got 2 points, which was disappointing because he came out because he didn't score a goal. It was annoying. But anyway, next match was Wolverhampton beat Fulham 2-0 at home. I'm a bit surprised at that. I actually put Wolves in my bottom 6, which I'm starting to regret because they were missing their strikers last season and stuff. You know, they got Kevin Doyle. Kevin Doyle's been linked with Liverpool lately too. What do you think of Kevin Doyle, man?
Well, he made a bad miss yesterday. Just he was off balance when he tried to hit the shot. Do you remember he hit it over the bar? He managed to take it around the keeper.
Yeah, I seen that, but come on.
Over the bar.
Every striker misses time to time. He's a quality player. Like, yeah, I wouldn't want him as my first choice at Liverpool, but for a backup striker, he'd be decent if he wants to actually sit on the bench. That's the question. Next match was Norwich and Stoke. That was a draw. I was really expecting Stoke to win this, but that was at Norwich. What's your thoughts on Norwich? You think they're going to go down?
No, Norwich were surprising because they played really good football.
Yeah, they did.
They were very expansive.
Yeah, it's quite surprising. Like, them and Swansea seem to play nice football, especially Swansea.
Yeah.
But so they'll be interesting. I still think they'll go down though. Anyway, next match was on Saturday's matches. That was the Chelsea and West Brom. Now Chelsea actually struggled against West Brom. West Brom missed an open net. Well, they just couldn't get their foot to the ball. They could have got a point against Chelsea. They could have got something at Stamford Bridge. Now Chelsea, that's 2 matches in a row they've struggled. Torres didn't look as good as he did last week. You think Torres will be back to his best, Ben? Ever?
Maybe later on. He's just started the season. They've had 3 months out.
I know,
Not
but
very much football.
I suppose so. But he was very good last week, and then he's just lost it this week. But I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully he flops. I don't like him since he left Liverpool. Swansea City and Wigan Athletic. That was a draw. That was my prediction. That's not a surprise, really.
No, not really. Both of them will be down in relegation battle at the end of the season, I reckon.
Yeah, I think so. Swansea is actually Swansea's manager's from Cushendall, plays on the Antrim coast, not too far from me. So I hope Swansea stay up, just because, you know, support the homegrown talent, the manager. So guys, so next match was surprising. Everton got beat at home by Queens Park Rangers, and Queens Park Rangers had quite a few injuries due to a virus. Now this kind of surprises me, but then again it doesn't, because last season Everton had a terrible start too, along with Liverpool, and then they started doing well towards the end of the season. Yeah, any thoughts on that surprise?
It's probably the biggest upset so far. Definitely.
Yeah,
I'd say so.
especially with the injuries they had. You know, DJ Campbell and everyone was out, so you know, it's pretty good result. Aston Villa beat Blackburn Rovers 3-1. That's surprising. I was a bit annoyed they conceded a goal late on, because that meant that Given didn't get his clean sheet points on the fantasy football league.
At least near me as well.
Sorry, say it again?
He's from near me, Given.
Oh, Given, is he from around Donegal, is he?
Lifford, on the border.
I did not know that. I did not know that. Right. Next match was Arsenal and Liverpool. Oh, I like this game. This was Liverpool, of course. One at the Emirates, 2-0. It was Liverpool. I would say had the edge the whole game. Yes,
Yeah.
they had to wait till Arsenal got a man sent off in the 70 minutes and an OG to get the first goal ahead, and then Suarez scored the second goal. Yes, they did, but they still deserved to win. They're the better team the whole match. Arsenal, if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be extremely worried. Their bench was terrible. They had three teenagers, Shamak and Bentner. I mean, there is nothing there to change the game. They've got no depth in their squad anymore. If Arsene Wenger does not spend money before the end of the transfer window, I could see them finishing below Spurs. I really think they're that weak now. What do you think of Arsenal? You think they're in crisis?
Well, Wenger is a very good seller of players. He's made a lot of money through buying them at the right time and selling them
That's
at the
because
right
he
time.
buys them young, unproven.
Yeah.
Which he's good at, but he needs to mix that with experience. Constant youth isn't going to win you the league. I'm sorry, but it's
Losing
not.
Fabregas as
Oh
well.
yeah, I mean, if Al Nasri's looking like he's going to the City, I mean, if they don't replace them two, they're going to be in big trouble. So
Because how many big star players do Arsenal have now in their team when you compare it to the other big
that's
teams
a good
in
point. You got Van Persie, always injured. From Ireland is a very good player, but he was injured last season. Song's decent, I suppose. Gervinho could prove himself, but he's unproven.
He could be brash. He could just like the stamp he made, or not the stamp, the slap.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right there. I don't rate Arsenal at all this season. But anyway, let's move on from Arsenal. All I'd say, if I was an Arsenal fan, I would be worried. Next match was Sunderland and Newcastle. Now this was a shocker for me too, because Newcastle are my dark horse to go down, which I'm starting to doubt now, because they beat Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. That was a shock for me. What do you think of that?
Yeah. I think the weaker clubs really need to make their home stadiums a fortress rather than keep the pitch tight and try and grind out wins out of it, especially when they're playing teams that are roughly their same level.
Yeah, this was a derby, and I watched the highlights of this match. There was some bad tackles. It was a really feisty game, and I think if I remember right, was there a Sunderland player get sent off? I think there was a Sunderland player sent off. I can't remember it, but that could have been the reason for their downfall.
I'll just check now.
Okay, you check while I talk about. That's about it actually for the weekend's results. Then there was that last Monday's Manchester City against Swansea, 4-0. Aguero, come on, did very well. But anyway, that's about the end of the show. But actually, should we do our predictions for next week? Let's do our predictions for next week very quickly. Don't want to drag the show on. So Manchester United versus Tottenham tonight. What's your prediction?
Man United 2-1.
I'm gonna hope.
I reckon.
I'm gonna say 3-1. I hope it's a draw, but I'm going to say 3-1 to Man United. Aston Villa versus Wolves, Saturday. This is at Aston Villa. The team I say first is at home. What do you think?
1-1, I reckon, or 2-2.
Oh yeah,
draw.
it's going to be it's going to be tough. They're both started well. Both started the season well. I'm also going to say a 2-2 draw. Wigan Athletic versus QPR.
QPR 1-0, I reckon.
I'd actually go with you there. I'm going to go with you QPR 1-0 too. Actually, you know what? No, it's at Wigan, so I'm going to say 1 each. Chelsea versus Norwich.
Chelsea 4-0. I'll go.
Oof.
4-0.
No, I'll say 2-0 to Chelsea. Blackburn Rovers versus Everton.
I reckon Blackburn could win after Everton's last match, but I'm going to go 0-0 or 1-1.
This is a tough one for me because I've got the feeling Everton might have a bad start to the season, like last season. So I'm going to also go with 0-0. Now the next match was Swansea versus Sunderland.
1-1.
I'm going to say 2-1 to Sunderland. And Liverpool versus Bolton.
Liverpool 3-1.
I'm going to agree with you there. Liverpool 3-1. Actually, you know what? No, Liverpool 3-0. Liverpool 3-0. Next Sunday's games: Newcastle versus Fulham.
Newcastle to win 2-1, I reckon.
That's a tough one for me. Fulham didn't look too great there in the weekends. I'm gonna say a 0-0 draw. Tottenham versus Manchester City.
City 2-1.
I'm gonna go agree with you there. City 2-1 at the White Hart Lane. Yeah, City 2-1 to me. And the last game is West Brom versus Stoke.
0-0.
I'm also gonna say 0-0. So guys, this has been the Football Fan Show with our special guest, Mr. Ben. Thanks for joining us, Ben.
Thank you, Maxwell.
And I don't even know if he has a channel. If he does, it'll be in the description. It'll be in the description. I forgot all about that. It'll be in the description. Go check out his channel, even though I only have 29 subs. But we will grow. And guys, this has been the Football Fan Show for week 2. And see you later.